Hey guys, welcome to another Rankcast. Today we're looking at a couple of games played between oKhalid and Toxiic. Khalid currently sitting at number 2 in the ones leaderboard. Toxiic, I think last time I checked, at number 17. But I think the only time I casted Toxiic in the past was against Revzy, where he was on a massive losing streak but decided to keep on playing anyway. And this is something that you'll see a lot with the top ones players. They don't really care a lot of the time if they're losing all the points. They just want to get games, they just want to beat the guy, they just want to figure out the puzzle that is the opponent. We saw Khalid do the same thing at the start of this season, losing a lot of games to apparently Jack, just trying to figure out how to beat him when he switched to the Fennec. So, what to expect from Toxiic, I'm not too sure, but I have seen him play a few times on Jack's YouTube channel, and I've seen him play a few ranked games as well through replays that I've watched of him. Very good defensive player, very well versed on the ground and offense as well. So he should be a good match for oKhalid in these games. And I don't think that there's going to be too much of a difference between the two players' styles, especially with both in the Fennec. Khalid trying to knock the ball into the back corner, actually gets a bit of oversteer on the landing, briefly putting him in an awkward position, and Toxic's able to capitalize with 2 shots in quick succession, put himself up by 1. Now we're seeing everybody in the one scene right now just experimenting with new play styles, trying to be as adaptable as possible. That's the name of the game these days, when it starts from the kickoff all the way to goals at either end. Everybody tries to mix it up, and Khalid will take to the air for this one and gets a goal. Toxiic trying to stay on the ground, get underneath that bump before making the save. Khalid just a bit too close to the ball to allow that to happen. Toxiic waits for Khalid's jump there, knew that he could beat into the side boost after Khalid does commit to the ball. And he's actually gone for a very awkward air dribble. Oh, that's a nice takeoff actually. Got on the right side of the ball, but Khalid now quickly on the runaway. What a save by Toxiic to knock the vanilla air dribble just over the bar. Khalid sticking to the air dribbles. This time it's a reset, so 3 consecutive air dribbles, but every single one of them has had a different flavor. The bump, followed by this air dribble over the top, and now the reset. Sticking to that theme of adaptability and surprising your opponent. Khalid flips into position to secure an open net. He shoots it very left of the goal, but still into the open net that was given to him. Toxiic expecting Khalid to play a bit more on the back foot defensively. Khalid has actually been challenging as early as he can, every time that he can. Takes a 2-goal lead now. Most of this game has involved Khalid attacking Toxiic. Now Khalid gets a demo on Toxiic, who is able to get the back corner boost steal right before he was killed there. Now Khalid to himself off the back wall, off the post with the shot. It's a tough one to get around. Toxiic running out of boost and unable to secure a counter-attack goal. Khalid will tackle him sideways, something that can often be risky if you're tackling an opponent who's got lots of boost or with the ability to accelerate. You will lose the 50-50, but Khalid knew there that Toxiic wasn't in a great position when it came to boost. Just stuck a boot in early. Now he's up by 4. Such quick goals off every single kickoff, but with plenty of time left on the clock, I'm sure Toxic's going to be able to make a stand here. Delays his kickoff, gets a very good outcome. I don't think this shot was the best option there for Toxiic. It was tempting, but Khalid is coming back quickly, so of course the save was the most likely outcome. That's not going to be a likely outcome of this attack though, as Toxiic slots in an open net with a boomer. And why not just hit the open net as quickly as possible? He's the one who needs to catch up, and he's the one who needs every second that's remaining after all. Oh, and a very good kickoff by Toxiic. Actually ends up in the back of the net. Khalid was trying to knock that into his far post, but he ends up own goaling. Of course, it was going in anyway. It's not a complete own goal. Toxiic again with a strong kickoff. Will he be able to convert or at least create a chance on target? Not this time. It's Khalid who's lurking now, waiting for a chance to attack the ball. Boost advantage is his. Keeps an eye on Toxiic. That was really good vision by Khalid to just see where Toxiic was the entire time. Toxic using the back wall for efficiency. He wants to save all the boosts that he can, just in case the back corner one gets stolen. It isn't. There's another early challenge by oKhalid. He's not backing off every single time. Toxic wants him to. Toxic's really shown us in this game that he's trying to get the ball on top of his car. He's trying to get the dribbles going, and he's looking for space whenever he can to set those up. oKhalid knows this, and he closes the distance every now and then just to put the pressure on Toxic. This time it's a fake challenge. Toxic forced to flick early because he's not sure if oKhalid is actually challenging here, but he's done well to work the ball downfield, steal both of oKhalid's boosts, and now with oKhalid on 0, Toxic has a good chance. Oh wow, oKhalid escapes the demo though and actually picks up the mid boost 100. The unfortunate there for Toxic, he was extremely close to connecting with that bump, which would have kept him in the offense for a bit longer. It would have hindered oKhalid's boost total as well. Now, since that moment, oKhalid has had 100 boost constantly. And look at that, shrugs Toxic off the ball. Very effortless challenge, and safely on the back wall. That's where oKhalid chooses to position. He's trying to dribble the ball into space here. Toxic backing off. oKhalid 50-50s it in. You can see the predicament Toxic had. He knew that the chance was available for oKhalid to fire that, to rifle the ball into the top corner across the goal, and he was trying to cover that to the best of his ability, but moving a bit too far over that way, which made it possible for oKhalid to go low into the bottom corner nearest him. Now, will there be any time, any chances for Toxic to come back? oKhalid is still going all in at the end of the game, and what a save that is by Toxic! And he should be able to convert this and put himself within striking distance. oKhalid looking for that 4th goal, wanted to stay in attack for the remainder of the game. Wasn't expecting such a good mid-air 50-50 from the Englishman. And here comes Toxic again. That's a great kickoff for him, and he's taken a brilliant first touch. He demos oKhalid as the ball rolls in behind him, and he's within 1. He's taking his chances. Clinical play by Toxic at the end of the game. I think he messed up the kickoff there though. That looked like an accidental single jump, and oKhalid will go to the air again, just to waste as much time as possible. Toxic closes the distance. The only option he's got at this point is to do so. oKhalid's going to bump him off the ball, demo him as well, and takes the first game out of these two. But well played overall by Toxic. He defended bravely, and he gave himself a chance at the end of the game. You always want to do that. There's no point sitting back when you're down by 3 and just letting the opponent attack you. You have to, at some point, challenge the ball if you want any chance of winning. And Toxic did that, and gave himself a chance. However, oKhalid had the better kickoff in the last play and never let go of the ball. Let's get into the second game and see if it follows suit. Okay, game number 2 has oKhalid in the orange and Toxic in the blue. And a great start for Toxic already, with a huge win on the kickoff on the inside. Now, usually when that happens, when you get a big win on the inside, your opponent will switch their kickoff up and not allow it to go that badly again. oKhalid, although he's lost the kickoff territorially, does end up taking control because he had more momentum to play the ball with. Went for the immediate shot, tough one, and fired way wide. Toxic knows that oKhalid is likely to be challenging early, and that's really well done. He's played the ball as quickly as possible over the angle that oKhalid could have been challenging from. That forces oKhalid back, and he was not ready to defend the near post that Toxic went for. oKhalid with the ceiling shot. Delays it, actually doesn't even go for it at all. He's mind game Toxic. He's now only down by 1. That's a great fake by oKhalid. Had the dodge because he jumped into the ceiling to bounce back towards the ball without having to jump off the ceiling. Toxic looking like oKhalid with the approach, actually. This is something oKhalid loves to do to his opponents, opening up the angle on the inside of the field and threatening flicks and shots by doing so. oKhalid cuts back towards the corner just to steal the boost on the way, and he's gotten the ball past Toxic again with a ceiling shot. This time Toxic went early, and he just wasn't able to make contact. A bit unfortunate, but I think it was just a misplay by Toxic at the same time. He did well to maintain his boost management in that position. Just wasn't able to execute with the challenge. Couldn't make contact. Now Toxic needs to be careful here. He's given oKhalid a way back into the game, and it's not been the conventional way that Khalid's brought this one back. The player who's forever been known for the ground game and the impossible combination of bounce dribbles and low 50-50s, the high and the low angles, both being so difficult to defend at the same time when you play against Khalid. But now he's also adopting more of an aerial game into his attack as well, and a very aggressive stance when it comes to defense. Toxic again wins on the inside with the kickoff. That's a big win. Khalid trying to push the kickoff to the outside of the ball. We'll see if he does it again here. He, in fact, tries to go on the inside, and Toxic has just glued himself to the ball and gets another kickoff goal. Third one for the game, and he's really just doing so well with the kickoffs. Let's see what Khalid does for this one. So you've just gone on the outside of the ball, or tried to force the ball around the outside. It's not worked. Then he tries to go inside. That doesn't work either. I've never been too worried about Khalid's overall kickoff strategy, because he's so good at the standard kickoffs that he doesn't usually have to switch it up that much. But in this kind of matchup, when he's losing so many kickoff goals, it might be time to switch something up. He's just going to keep it in standard for now, though. We've all seen in recent times the increased success that the wave dash recovery has had for so many players on kickoffs. Haven't seen Khalid really use that one too often. Definitely something every player should be looking to do these days. Maybe even, I mean, we do see the delayed approach from Khalid sometimes. That's something he is known for, even before it was part of the meta. He would always mix those in at the end of games. Oh, good shot. Toxic catches Khalid off his line and makes it a 3-goal game. Much better in this one from Toxic, but even if you take away the 3 kickoff goals, he's still in a tie, so this isn't at all about kickoff goals and kickoff goals alone. Khalid with another mind game. He's really making it look like he's going to shoot that to the top corner across the face of the net, and I bet it looked even more like a shot was coming from Toxic's POV. It's a lot harder to see from the goalkeeper's vision. Khalid has to stay on the ball as much as he can here because he has no boost to work with. Just going for the small pads. There's a big flick by Toxic to waste even more of Khalid's boost, and another shot to follow up. Small pads keeping Khalid in this one, at least for now. Thought he could get a 50-50 there. Luckily, although he missed the 50-50, he did get a touch on Toxic. He bumped him away from the play, and he went for an early flick. He saw the challenge coming in, but Toxic has made good contact with the ball anyway. That's a good shot. Khalid with the full volley will close this gap by 1 more goal. Both players actually in this game having success with the long shots, just catching each other off the goal line. Khalid again with the mind game. So maybe that's something he didn't switch up enough in this game. So he's tried to do that twice now from similar positions, fakes the half volley and goes for the near post fake instead. Toxic not buying it that time, and he's up by 2 now. And I will say I would like to see more of Khalid's legendary top corner half volleys off those bounce dribbles. He's so good at pretending that he's shooting and using all of the... It's kind of like you know, the return on his investment after scoring so many incredible ground shots throughout in the past and throughout his ones career. Now he's reaping the rewards. Everybody expects it, and he goes for the fake at the near post instead. But when you do it too often, even if you've got that legendary shot to fall back on, people are going to start saving that. And just as I say that, Khalid gets another mind game. So he's sticking to his guns here. But the difference on this play is that you didn't really have an option to shoot because Toxic was right in front of him. So the shot didn't make sense. It was far more smart to go for the mind game. Nice little bump by Khalid as well. He doesn't have any boost though. This is awkward. And he's got to hurry up here. And he will. And he slots it bottom corner. That's a tight game. Toxic having to be on the back foot for a lot of this one, at least in the second half of the game. He gets another big kickoff win. They're still doing work for him in this game. And the shot is excellent. 8-7. Khalid timed the jump correctly, but he just missed. He's trying to knock that one into his own crossbar. Get a big clear. Khalid has to dash back here. This is not ideal for him. In fact, it's another goal for Toxiic. Khalid managed to move with the ball, but he didn't have enough boost to get around it and knock it into his corner, like he usually does. Toxiic, with the last second pressure here, has given Khalid absolutely no ways to come back. He's going to just go for an own goal because he can't score into Toxic's net from this position, and leaves with 2 seconds left. It was a great ending to the game there for Toxiic. Really well played to close this one out. And a game where it really did come from this one kickoff being so dominant. I'll show it again because this is a brilliant technique by Toxiic, and that illustrates exactly why he's able to win this this game. Because this kickoff went well for him at least 3 or 4 times. I think he got 3 immediate goals from this exact kickoff, and it's a classic. Toxic's goal side. Oh, we're getting a little bit of nameplate dancing here. I didn't even know that was a thing, but there you go. The more you know. Yeah, Toxiic is goal side of the ball. Khalid is off to the side. Now, when players both flip in the same direction, you can see there, both players are flipping in the same direction. They're both flipping over this way. The ball tends to go the way of the player who's more goal side. But if you're wondering, how do you stop this? How do you stop Toxiic from getting a big win like this? Well, what Khalid would have to do is try to get more goal side in the ball and flip the other way. Because when players flip in opposite directions, the player who's more side on the inside actually wins the kickoff. So if Khalid managed to get around from this angle here and flip to the right, he would actually win the kickoff. The long story short on this, the thing that happens in most cases is when players are flipping in the same direction like we have here, the player who's more goal side wins. When players are flipping in opposite directions, like as in if Khalid is flipping to his right instead of to his left as we see on this one, the player who's more side onto the ball wins. But of course, if you're flipping to the right in this case, you would want to be on the left side of the ball, not the right side of the ball, like Khalid is here. But he wasn't able to figure that one out. He just kept on trying to play this standard approach, and it really didn't work out. Although you can see that there is always a chance for Khalid to recover here if he has any boost left over. But he doesn't. And the reason he has no boost left over is because he's trying to just use all the boosts he can to force himself through the ball. Look at that. He's getting there as fast as humanly possible, using absolutely all the boosts he's got to try and get to the ball as quickly as possible and manipulate the direction as early as he can. The Toxic's there as well. Now, if Khalid had even 12 boosts here, he'd be able to get back and knock this into the corner. But he doesn't. He's got none left because he's completely committed to winning, or at least going even on the kickoff. So lots of things Khalid could have done different there. Change the angle of approach, change the way he's dodging into the ball, change the timing of his approach, change the dodge technique, whether it's a single jump, wave dash recovery, or just save some boosts and try to go a bit more defensive with the kickoff. Roll with it into, flip this way and come with the ball to the back corner, but have 12 or 20 boosts left over so that you can get to the ball before it reaches your net. Lots of things to do differently there. We're far past the days where this kickoff is unstoppable, and it did used to be unstoppable. This is the same strategy that Scrubkiller used years and years ago to dominate kickoffs and score 5, 6, 7 kickoff goals in a row, and nobody knew what to do. Nowadays, people do know what to do, but Khalid just didn't pick the right options here. He didn't expect Toxiic to just keep going for that over and over again. But if it's working, why change? Why change the strategy? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And that's how Toxic's able to win those from the center circle. Very, very impressive stuff. But I will show the leaderboard because I know some people will want to see where exactly they're at. I think I guessed at the start. Well, it's pretty... I knew Khalid was definitely second. Let's see where Toxiic is. He is 17th, so he's 1670. Very high-rated player at the moment. And I've seen him in top 10 many times, so expecting to see more of him in the near future as well. Another very high-level ones player at the moment coming out of England. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed that. A little bit of a in-depth look at why those kickoffs are going in Toxic's favor at the end of the game there. And, even aside that, even outside of the kickoff, I think Toxic's doing a really good job hanging there with Khalid and keep making it a very, very close game. Very with the very similar styles of play, which can be difficult. It's hard to beat Khalid at his own game. Hard to even go close with Khalid in his own game. Toxic's able to do that. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this, and thanks for watching as always. And until next time, have a great rest of your day.